Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where we are currently doing capitalism, but I have been thinking a little bit about our division templates. So we currently have a couple of these, and if we hop in here, we, to be honest, don't need most of these. So we can delete the armored division. The district garrison is being used as a garrison template, so sure, I don't know what's in this, just cavalry. This is probably terrible for a garrison division, but I haven't looked into what makes a good garrison division. Division design is a whole, mini game in this game. So I was looking at the infantry division here. This is what we are primarily making. We do have a few Rajput regiments, which is this. And we should probably upgrade those to the infantry division. So if we do, I forget how you do that, actually. I've completely forgotten. We'll get there eventually. For now, all I want to do is I want to look at this infantry division as our core template here. So this is a combat width of 18, which is a pretty good combat width, apparently, according to what I read online, for defensive divisions. And that's all we want. We want to just be able to hold the line and make it really expensive for the enemy to attack us. That's the goal. So to that end, all we need to do to add to this is we need to add 3 support companies. And I'm thinking right now, based on the stats, Motorized Recon Company provides us the highest amount of defense of all of the recon companies. Armored Recon Company doesn't give any defense at all. And the Cavalry Recon Detachment, well, it's 9 less defense than the Motorized. So we should probably go Motorized. That's going to require that we have some, I believe, trucks. Yeah, so we don't have any of that right now, but we also don't have the army experience that we need to even do this. I'm just talking about what our aspirations are here. This is an aspirational division, right? So it would be something like that, and then we would go for support artillery and engineer company. We just want one of each, because both of those would boost up our stats significantly. So it'd be something like this. So we'd be sitting at 248.2 defense. We'd have pretty decent soft attack. Our hard attack, not so great, but that's reasonable. So that should be pretty difficult to attack into. Now, we can't save this. The design is too expensive. We need more army experience. This is not surprising. So let's hop in here for now, and let's get these guys doing exercises as well. I want to generate more army experience right now. So then I want to go through and I want to find, okay, so this is a Rajput regiment. Okay, I know that there's a way to consolidate them together into the same division template. I know for a fact. So we can decommission this template like that and mark it as retired. Okay, and I should probably actually look up a decent garrison template. Hoi for garrison division template. Okay, this is from like a year ago. I have no idea if this is still valid or not. Hoi 4 division design is definitely not my forte. So they're saying a single cavalry battalion, or just any cavalry template you start with that only has cavalry battalions in it. It doesn't matter how many. So that's what we've got here. And then we want 1 unit of MP support, which we don't have the technology for right now. So that means that we need, in total, to get all of this set up, 40 army experience. Okay. So that sounds good. Even 25 battalions of cavalry plus military police support tends to lose out on IC. I don't know what IC is in this context because the game rounds up damage on the support equipment. Yeah, Hoi 4 division template is a whole thing. It's a whole thing. So, yeah. We're just going to go with that, most likely, once we get access to MPs, which we don't have yet. And if we look in here, we're a ways away from that. We would have to be, let's see, where are MPs again? Right here. We'd have to be getting that. So that's absolutely fine. Armored engineer companies. Ah, these are new. Yes, indeed, those are. Okay, I will have to look into those, but that is definitely interesting. We're not terribly concerned about getting that done right now, though. So for now, we're going to tick forward. We're trying to get the British Raj taken over at this point. That is our primary goal at this moment. So we can see we have 6 civilian factories with our consumer goods requirement being 7. We are working on building those naval bases in Qingdao, and that's absolutely understood. So I want to check over here. Okay, So what I'm thinking right now is we might want to fortify the edges of specifically the British Raj and not anywhere else. So we would do naval bases all along here and then land forts all along like here, right? And then that would come down like that or so. This is a long-term sort of thing. I'm not thinking about doing that right now. We've got investments to make. But when we're ready to protect those investments, that might be something we want to think about doing. So that's definitely interesting to think about for sure. And I want to hop in here at this point and see how long until we get some of these factories done. So in Bombay, we are going to have that done on 30 September. Okay, we should be having the end of our fiscal year very soon. You can see here we are in the first tax bracket. That's exactly where we want to be. And I'm not funneling any industry right now. And actually, this adds building slots as well. I just put that together. I should have put that together a while ago. So once we get all of these built, funneling industry is going to be the way to go for that. For sure. That's going to allow us to have just ridiculous numbers of factories. Like, I don't think it's going to be infinite because I think you can only get down to here. 25 is, I think, the max of any state. But we can get 25 per state, and that would be bonkers. But once a state reached 25, then I think there would be no reason to release it again. So that's very interesting for sure. That puts a bit of a limit on that. So that's absolutely fascinating. We've got about 20 days until the end of the fiscal year. I think that we should just kind of chill for right now, not make any major expenditures. The Republic of Syria has capitulated. Okay. Yeah, I think we should just not make any major expenditures at this point. We've got 2 taxable civilian factories. Hilarious. So that seems excellent. We'll just run out the fiscal year. We'll do high dividends in this next year, assuming the game will let us. We currently have 3, so we would need to finish up 2 additional factories. Yeah, that should be fine, I think. That should be fine, theoretically. Is our fiscal year drifting on us? We're in October. We've got 12 days yet on this fiscal year. And this is going to remove 4 civilian factories. Hang on, we are in high dividends. Oh, okay. That's neat. Cool. So we're going to finish this up here in 8 days, and we'll see what our dividend capabilities are. We want to be in high dividends. That's for sure. How are we doing on a private military? We're making progress here. This is going to create irregular divisions, and I don't necessarily want that. Maybe we can disband them for the manpower? Maybe. Or maybe we can upgrade them. Now, one thing I wanted to check here is, let's see. So, yeah, this template has been decommissioned. So, consolidation is not possible. Is there a way to upgrade this? Yes. There we go. We'll do that. And then we'll do that. Perfect. And then over in here, we can see we've got a few more of these. So I want to get these upgraded. It's going to cost us a lot of manpower. That's understood. So we're going to do an infantry division here. This is going to be an infantry division as well. We want to just have infantry divisions. That's all we need. Okay. So that looks good for the moment. We'll get all of that done. That'll eat up all of our manpower. That's okay. King Carol II of Romania has abdicated. Okay, good for him. So, how are we doing on that fiscal year? Okay, the fiscal year is over. So, we currently need to get 1 more controlled civilian factory in order to do a high dividend. We're going to have this done never, allegedly. This is going to be done in 3 November. This is going to be done in 10 November. So that should be okay. We'll announce high dividends once that's done. So we can get a new military industrial organization trait. So we got reinforced stocks previously. Bolt action rifles would reduce our soft attack. Semi-auto rifles would increase our soft attack. I don't care so much about the breakthrough. We're not trying to be aggressive with our military. We're trying to be defensive. So breakthrough isn't all that important. However, anti-armor ammunition, I think we can go with that. That'll get us some hard attack and piercing. So that'll be good. Not that we have much of it to go with, but getting some there will be fine. So we're getting close to 10 army experience at this point, and our fiscal year is, of course, over, so now we need to get additional factories built here. There's a private military finished, so that's understood. Now, we've got these guys who are not assigned. This is an infantry division, so this division is just going to go straight into here. And then I want to check in here. Yeah, we don't have Death Knell of the Raj yet. So lobby for increased policing responsibilities is what we would go for. It's only 35 days, so that sounds great.
Come on.
So now we've got all of these. These are irregulars. We can upgrade all of these to infantry divisions, but that's going to take time. That's understood. We are not at war right now, so I'm not all that concerned about it. The fact that these always open up a new window is mildly awkward. Okay, so these are private military here, but we're just going to swap them over to the infantry divisions. And they do have level 2 trained, but that's okay. I'm going to swap them over regardless. I don't really want irregulars here. So we're just going to do this. Now, we're going to be pretty behind in our manpower, and that's okay. We'll just get these sorted into our other army our other army formations here. And so we need, I think, 4 of them. So 1, that's kind of awkward. 2, 3, and 4. And then the rest of these, oh, this one didn't get upgraded. There we go. The rest of these are going to go over here. Now, this is probably going to be a little much over here. Yeah, we can see we are actually taking attrition here. We should probably consider constructing here a supply hub. Well, we've already got the naval base here. So we're already taking attrition here, and the question is, what do we got going on here? So we can see 3 out of 23 supplies here. Supplies demanded, 4.37. Supplies received, 100%. Okay. I don't think that's actually a problem. I don't think we need a supply hub there. We've got the naval base. It should be fine. So we're almost certainly going to have some attrition going on up over there. I mean, we've got some attrition in a lot of these places. So that's reasonable for now. Now, I want to hop over here. It's 30 October right now. We're going to have some of this finishing up very soon. So that looks good. 1 November at this point. Okay. So we're going to be done with this on 4 November. Once that's completed, I think we may be able to promise high dividends. Okay, so that just finished. No, we need to wait for hours to finish. Okay, so that's 10 November. That's not far in the future. So that looks fine. We are going to be finishing our construction in Qingdao very, very soon. So that looks good. In fact, I kind of want to put this, like, here. I want to work on it a little bit more slowly. So we'll do that for now. We just finished up this factory, which should allow us to now pay out a high amount of dividends. Perfect. So that looks good. Now the question is, can we afford to get any of these? Well, that would be up in Tibet. We need to buy these up over here, and this is going to be civilian factories, but we don't have the civilian factories for that right now. So let's let this finish up. There we go. And now do we have it? No, it needs to be one of our factories. Okay. Our total amount of taxable civilian factories right now is 0, and I think we need a taxable civilian factory to do this. That's my current theory. So that seems fine. We need like 4 of them to get all of our political power changed, or rather to get all of our political power spent. That's okay. We can also spend our political power on some other things, like getting one of these guys. That would not be a bad thing. Maybe going off of volunteer only to like limited conscription, but honestly, I think we're fine on volunteer only. We might get a special thing out over here. I don't know. We might. So this will get us a couple of military factories and 12 more Indian units. We're gonna have no manpower for a long time here at this rate. So we can see, what's our current manpower deficit? Our manpower deficit is, it's in here somewhere, isn't it? I was under the impression we had a manpower deficit in here listed. But maybe it's not in here, actually. I remember where it is, actually, now that I think about it. So let's see, mobilization speed. Interesting. Conscription laws cost minus 50%. Well, let's manipulate the army statistics first. That'll get us some factories going. So they're going to be military factories. That's fine. We should start production on some artillery and on some trucks. So let's hop in here. And let's do early truck. And let's do some artillery as well. So, yep, you'll do. So we're going to toss a couple of factories at this. There we go. So we're going to have like 25, and then this is going to be like 15 and 15 for now. So something like this. We want to have some amount of truck and artillery production. So we'll get those going. It's going to be a little awkward for sure. I'm actually going to take this down to 5 and then put this at... actually, I'm going to do this the other way around. 5 and then 15, like that. Then we're going to bump that down and just do something like this. Perfect. That looks pretty ideal. Actually, I'm going to leave this on 20 factories. There. I'm content with that for the moment. So we don't have any rubber. Understood. Not too concerned about it just yet. Purchase request from the Soviets. Well, this is the Soviet rebellion. They want to buy 51 of our guns. Understood. We will sell you 51 guns. They're terrible guns, so it's no loss for us. We're just happy somebody wants them. So that is absolutely excellent. Checking in here, we can see we have no taxable civilian factories at this at this time. So let's hop in here and see when this is going to finish. 19 December. Okay. Japan has declared war on the French Commune. Good for them. And we're just continuing to construct here. This is now back up to 15 out of 15. We're going to finish our penultimate level here on the 20th of December. So that looks good. We're going to have these naval bases fully complete soon. Although the question is, do we care about further completing them at this point? I'm going to say no. I'm going to move this down, and we're going to say that naval base is as good as it's going to get for the moment. So we can modify our government if we wanted to. I'm not sure we want to, but we could add a political advisor, so 15% stability. Although I kind of want this guy, reducing our consumer goods factories factor by 10% and 6% research speed. I'm going to put him in there. Perfect. So that will reduce our factory factor down to 10%. Okay, so that's continuing to drop. That looks great. We would love to see that drop further. I don't know if that's actually... Is that minimized at 0? Or rather at 10? Maybe. It's possible that more drops here wouldn't actually reduce this. This might be a min of 10. Either way, the research speed is nice. So that'll be okay. And how are we doing on our taxable factories? Well, we've got 1 now. So that means that we can buy a state. And so let's go state shopping. What do we got out over here? Nothing. 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 Nothing, 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 and nothing. Amazing. Great job, British Raj. I see you're building so many factories. Okay, so we're just going to grab this one then because it's border gory. Oh, we need more than 1 controlled civilian factory. So we actually have to finish a second one. So this is going to be done on 28 January. That's fine. Not a big concern there. So we've got a lot of civilian factories being built here. That looks fantastic. Huge investments happening right now, and that is great. I'm not a very big fan of what's going on over here in British Burma, but I believe we got the states that we really wanted from them. Yeah, that is definitely the case. Communist China is up here, apparently. Well, okay then. Well, that's, you know, awkward, but for now, it's completely fine. So we do have 58 civilian factories in use right now. 6 of those are owned by us. 14 are coming from trade. So that looks great. And the rest are coming from our princely states. Fantastic. So again, this is going to be done on 27 January. So no problem there. We've got 1 taxable civilian factory right now. And we would love to do some of this stuff, but for the moment, we really can't. Keep in mind, we're at 0 stability. So this has halved our military factory output. I don't think this is affecting our civilian factory output, though. So that's why I haven't really focused on bringing up our stability. It would be a good thing to do, to be sure, to bring up our stability, but for now, it is what it is. So we're manipulating the army statistics. That'll be done soon, getting us 2 additional military factories, which would be great. That will put additional military factories into building some of these towed artillery. Okay. We no longer get the effects of budget cost underrun, which is, you know, not ideal, but it's fine. Cool. So checking in here, we got that factory built. We should be able to now purchase this state. Done. Great deals. And actually, 2 military factories and a civilian factory in there. So that means that we can get another one. So I don't want to buy this from the central Indian princely states. We instead want to come over here and buy Rajasthan from British Raj. Perfect. So in that, there's actually a civilian factory. Remarkable. So there's our manipulate army statistics. Oh, I guess we just don't know what's in these. We don't have the intel. Yeah, that's what it is. So this is a private military unit over here. We got another bunch of these, and that was, of course, from manipulating the army statistics. We were mostly interested in the military factories, but this is fine. So base stability +3. Interesting. I'm thinking about maybe up over here. This adds oil in Assam. This we would have to be in a faction with British Burma. Okay, I don't really care too much about that then. What does this even do? It adds infrastructure. Okay, we don't really care about that, to be honest. We can just build that. So that's not a big deal. 2 land forts in every province in West Bengal, East Bengal, and Assam. Interesting. Well, for now, I'm not terribly concerned about that. So I think for now, we should continue to work down over here. I'm interested in doing this Bombay trade port potentially, but I'm thinking about what's over here and thinking about what's over here and thinking, these research slots look juicy. So let's open up new markets. This is going to get us some annex war goals. I don't intend to utilize those, but it's going to move us down towards those fancy, fancy locations. So that looks great. We're going to buy another state up here as soon as we've got the political power, and we'll have that soon. Okay, this guy fell ill. Noted. So there's the political power. At this point, I'm going to buy this one. Cool. What's in that state? Nothing at all. Okay, so now I believe we don't have the factories to expand. And of course, we don't have the political power either. So that's understood. And how many more states does British Raj have at this point? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we need to get 5 more of them. That's pretty doable. We're making good progress on these constructions, and that looks great. We're, of course, going to be funneling... Thank you. Thank you for telling me about this update that's available, Windows. Get out of here. Now, what was I saying? Oh yeah, we're going to be funneling industry to these locations soon enough after we get all of this built. I want to check in on the status of our subjects here. Ah, Hyderabad is really, really close to being able to be moved to an integrated puppet. That's going to require political power to do. So political power is a bit of a shortage for us, for sure. We do need to go through and get these guys changed over to infantry, and of course, that's going to take time. Because we don't have the manpower to get these properly switched over, right? And that's absolutely understood. We can do, like, I think, 1 of these per 4 months at our current manpower growth rate. So... Oh, game was frozen for a moment there. Oh, the Confederacy of American States declared war on the United States. It's getting real spicy out there. Everybody's falling apart. This is like a maximum chaos game. I did not set it up to be maximum chaos. It's just kind of happening. Okay. So let's just go to infantry division here. There we go. And this is 12 divisions. So really what we should do is we can max this out. That's going to be a little too much. So we can take 5 and move them into a new unit. And for now, I'm going to tell them to just, like, frontline over here. This will be fine for the moment. So that's okay. And how big is the Confederacy? Oh, okay. It's literally just the Confederacy again. Okay. Well, the Civil War II Electric Boogaloo. Let's do it. So, I mean, we're not doing it. They're doing it. And that's great. We like it. Yep, the Second American Civil War. Unhappy with the policies of President Wendell Willkie, huh? Okay. Well then. That's gonna get spicy. Luckily for us, we don't care. So at this point, do we have enough to be able to buy this? Yes, we do. So let's go ahead and buy this guy. Perfect. And there were no factories in that, so we'll have to wait a bit to expand. We would have to wait anyway. There's our opening up of new markets, and we have some available war goals. Not that we care about this. We don't actually want to declare war on anyone. We want to purchase everything. So this is going to get us oil and steel in Assam and Bombay, and that'll also get us a civilian factory in East Punjab. So that sounds incredible. Incredible. Let's do it. Very pleased with that. So that means that we are currently short on steel by 54 and rubber. Surely we have a source of rubber here, right? This isn't resources. Resource map mode. Rubber here, but there is rubber down in British Raj, down over here. Okay, so with that being the case, we can utilize this rubber. We don't care about Burma, although that's a lot of tungsten. We'll buy this later from Japan if we feel like we need to. That's fine. We need to get British Raj taken care of. Communist China has capitulated. No shockers there. Okay, so we currently have the factories. Actually, we don't have the factories to do a purchase right now. We will need to wait a little bit, but it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to continue to work on the British Raj. We'll be able to get rid of them very soon. I think that, honestly, that might be a next episode sort of thing. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making... Wow, apparently words are hard. For making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video. And as always, I will see you all next time.